All right, it's time for a new episode of DWMOD, and you can disagree with me or don't, but let's go. Hey, the Pistons are scrappy, but it's quickly looking like we got all our balls in that lottery bag.
Down! Put!
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works.
Put!
All right, guys, that's how it's going to work. I know you recognize this guy on the screen with me here, Andy St. Clair. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you? How's Detroit?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Do you see the photos of downtown for the draft here?
It looked amazing. It looked
Oh,
truly
my God.
amazing.
It was like 1 billion people, no incidents. Everything went amazing. The draft, they broke records for attendance and stuff at the draft. It was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It looked great. It's always good seeing unbelievable. The NFL has made this like a thing. The NFL draft a thing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's the smartest thing they've probably done in the last 20 years.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure.
100%. 100%. Well, hey, guys, just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, man, to come and see the show. All right. Pretty good. That's great. And we got to give a big shout out to the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast, Andy. Old English 800. Everybody was enjoying Brass Monkeys in the backyard.
Come on.
Excellent.
Come on.
Excellent. Big thanks to rustbeltclub.com for putting up the tailgate, putting up some tickets for the show, man. Big thanks to them. Now you guys head over to rustbeltclub.com and you can get 25% off of your order through the weekend here. Code NFL Draft. So go ahead and get some. You got some of that stuff, right, Andy?
Yes, you know I do. You know I do. It's always ready, always around.
Extremely comfortable gear, guys. Jump into that, man. That. Well, let's jump into a little bit of draft talk, Andy. So you've been tuning in. First round. Let's jump right at the first round. What was one of the most quirky, funnest type of moments that had you laughing, maybe?
Well, I always like seeing the families. I'm always kind of into those families. So those are always the thing I enjoy the most. Is I just like when they cut to their families. I want to say maybe it was the offensive lineman in Hawaii. His dad had a huge can of I think it was either a Corona, like a tall boy of Corona or Michelob, and you wipe it away tears, but that tall boy was right in the middle, right in there. So I always like seeing the families. I like seeing what they do. That's always mine.
Yeah, that's always pretty good. That's
the girlfriends are also great. I'm also always a big fan of the girlfriends. Because those girlfriends are 75% won't be their girlfriends in a year. So it's always fun.
100% they won't. One of my favorite moments absolutely had to do with the girlfriend. You know where I'm going with this. Yeah. I mean, when they called Joe Alt's name, big old offensive lineman from Notre Dame,
right.
He gets drafted by the Chargers. And when he stands up to hug his girlfriend, it absolutely looked like one of those moments where the guy gets caught on the kiss cam live at the game, but he's there with his side chick, So we have actual footage of what that was on the kiss cam. Here we go.
Oh, man. That girl's tiny. That girl's tiny too. Or he's just enormous.
Yeah, he's a huge dude. That poor girl. He didn't know what to do. It was hilarious, man. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that thing, man. But I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
That it'll be close to your heart in the first round here. Now, Andy, are you familiar with the term Buffalo nice?
Well, no, I assume it's kind of like Midwest nice, right?
Yeah. So up in Buffalo, when they do things that are extremely don't want to inconvenience anybody else, they're being Buffalo nice. Like the Buffalo Bills were Buffalo nice when they really needed a wide receiver in the first round, but they let the Chiefs go ahead and take one first, just like in 2017 when they really needed a quarterback, but they went ahead and let the Chiefs take one first, and the Chiefs took Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you're from the Midwest, you'll associate this behavior with being first in line at Subway, and then people line up behind you, and then you quickly turn around and tell them, you can go ahead if you know what you want to have. I'm not ready yet. And you let them go first. That's what they just keep doing with the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, it was, they got the fastest guy in the draft. The problem is that I will say Xavier Worthy he is slender. He's like a $170,
Yeah.
$175. Like, like that, and he's tall. He's not like Tyreek Hill small. So it was nice, but it's one of those. We'll see. The Chiefs are going to have some wide receivers that are very fast, which is going to be beneficial.
Now, is he just going to contradict what they got going on with Rashee Rice, or how do those two blend together, man? This is your team, If you're for the guys that don't know, Andy's a big Chiefs guy, KC.
Well, they're also gonna run Hollywood Brown out for a year, so they're just gonna run you, right? They're just gonna. Those guys are gonna just go fast, and like Mahomes is gonna bomb it. I wish they kind of would take a McConkey personally. I was kind of a McConkey guy, Lad McConkey, because I just think he'd have been. I even said it on the pod last week. I think he'd be a little better for the little 7-8 yarders, but. I guess I have to side with the Chiefs here. They seem to know what they're doing. So I'm for Xavier.
Yeah, I mean, and the Bills trade back twice and don't even make a pick in the first round. They get rid of Diggs. Everyone knows they need a wide receiver really bad, and they're like, "Don't tell me what to fucking do."
Right,
just trade right out of the round, man.
Well, if anything, they seem to be kind of doing what the Chiefs did, right? They're just like, all right, fine, we'll get rid of our best receiver and all our receivers, and then we'll go from the floor up.
Yeah, they end up taking one in the second.
Keon Coleman, right? That's who they went with.
Yeah. Yep. They end up taking one in the second there. So, I mean, any other draft picks you like from the Chiefs? I'm gonna give you your Chiefs pedestal right now, man. 2-time back-to-back Super Bowl champs. What are you gonna do?
I like that tackle in the second round, Kingsley from BYU.
Yeah,
I think that guy's going to be good. The Chiefs kept it pretty boring. They took one other offensive player. They just got that tight end from TCU. Who, sure. I mean, I don't even think about the TCU guy. I mean, if he's good, a couple years, but the Chiefs like those kind of big tight ends like Gray and Kelsey, and they got another one on the team. So they like running those kind of big tight end sets. So. Overall, they just kind of ultimately went with like DB, some sort of corner, or I think maybe a safety. That's in line. That's really what they did. I think they did the center from Penn State, Hunter Newsard, and then they had a cornerback from Tennessee and a safety from Washington State, and another guard from Holy Cross. So they really kind of focused on the two positions.
Yeah, filling some needs. They'll be back again. There'll be a whole lot of trouble. So, I mean. There's nothing you're going to be able to do with that in the West next year, but that's all right, guys. If you got a phone going off, that's all right.
Definitely answer it. But it's really about what the other teams in the division did, which I would say is not much, right? Yeah. You're running your Gardner Minshew, your Bo Nix, and then you're running Herbert out with Lad McConkey, and that's about it. So
and Joe Alt, and you're basically saying we're starting over. So
so the Chiefs going to win like 10, 11 games and then see in the playoffs.
Yep, they sure are. They sure are, man. Well, hey, let's give a little shout out to Rust Belt Club. They got their ad here, but before that, they're going to give you this ad. This is Gordon Butterfield, guys. If you don't know who Gordon Butterfield is, minor league baseball Hall of Famer announcer. This is an old-time announcer here, and he is on the call with a lot of our sponsors here, and he's just making the call on a slice of life. So here's Gordon Butterfield and Enjoy. He's the best, man.
Oh, what just happened? What just happened is brought to you by the RustBeltClub.com. They make the most comfortable clothes you ever wore, and they're guaranteed to be the most conversational. Put on your Rust Belt gear, and people are guaranteed to get inquisitive. Is that Tom Brady's joint? Where can I grab them cakes? Who won that game? Oh, good morning, counselor. Is that a tooth beer or two? I know that guy. Ho, that's a haunted water park. Abracadabra. And that's the RustBeltClub.com. It's for folks with an inquired taste. It's always a game of chance on the giant water slide, but Janet Kopakowski's ready to see what turns up on the river. And take off. Oh, she's too stiff. That's a bad idea. Fusion surgery. Oh, my. Let's take another look and see where she destroys vertebrae C4 and 5 and 6 and 7. She's sky high and looks like she died 5 days ago. Rigor mortis. Oh, my. Her back's as red as a beet. Oh, what just happened?
That's Gordon, man. That's Gordon, guys. He's the best. That's why we let him do what he does, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man. All right, Andy. Well, let's get into a section here you guys are familiar with, maybe you're not familiar with. We go into quick hits. This is going to be some quick takes, maybe congratulatory or something where you just want to bring up something quick that's happening in sports here. So let's jump into it. All right, Andy, I'm going to kick us off here with a quick hit. Congratulations to Roger Goodell and Detroit for getting him hammered quicker than any other draft you ever saw. By the 10th pick, my man was slurring words, couldn't finish the cards. He was bombed. Am I right?
Yeah, he was. I had just read that he had back surgery like 3 months ago. So, of course, like all those hugs makes you a little nervous. I think maybe he's still on some pills. Maybe had one, 2 drinks, and he was just like, he's feeling loose. He was getting loose up there.
Oh man, he was toasted. I did read that same thing. They said J.C. Latham, he's the offensive tackle that was drafted, went up there and gave him a big old bear hug. And then they said backstage he immediately needed like a shot of Toradol, and then he was trashed. He had a drink and a shot. He was bombed, man.
He was over.
Look like we got somebody over here. Okay.
Let's do a hot take.
Okay, got a question here from quick hit from.
Okay, guys, this is Louie. This is Louie Krasue. He's going to be handling the questions, and if you don't see, looks like he's in the hallway outside the bathroom down at Fishbones downtown there. All right, yeah. So you got a question over there, Louie? What? Some people are putting them in the bucket.
ET in Chicago.
Okay.
In Chicago says, "Congrats, long time coming to Darryl Green and the Washington Commanders for retiring his jersey."
Okay. Yeah. I'll let you jump on that first, Andy.
And he said, "Is that what the question is about Darryl Green?"
Yeah. She said, "Congratulations, Darryl Green. About time they retired his jersey." What took so
20
long?
years. 20 years. And did you see how they did it? Did you see how they did it?
I did not.
Okay, so they had Darryl Green come read a promo for the Commanders. It was one of those classic bits where they read the promo. They're like, "Let's just do the take one more time." And then Darryl Green was like, "Okay, after the Ring of Honor, whatever they call it in Washington." And he was like, "It's a hard, to get in for the maroon and gold. But this man spent 20 years," and he was reading his own. He was kind of anchormanning that whole thing.
Yeah.
It was great. I have to say it was kind of classy. I like when they trick these guys that way. I can't believe he wasn't already in it, to be completely
ridiculous.
Honest. It's crazy. I thought he should be in. The other thing that shocked me was then his family came in. By the way, his family came in after he read it because they already knew clearly. They talked to Darryl Green's family, and there were like 40 people, and of all ages. There were like 10 kids. I think they were his grandkids, and there were like 2 or 3 adults, and then there were like 10 more kids. I was like, look at all these kids. There were kids everywhere. That's the one thing that threw me.
Room full of talent, buddy.
That's what I thought. There's got to be 1 or 2 in there.
Darryl Green was one of the greatest corners in the history of football, like top 5 easy, probably 2. You know what I mean? At 20 years, they retired him.
So I didn't know. I didn't know he played there all 20 years. I didn't know he was. I feel like if you hit 20 years with a team, you probably are going to be. You should already be in that Ring of Honor, whatever they call it. For that team. Yeah.
So if you ever go back and watch, remember when on Saturdays they would have like that Challenge of the Stars on NBC and stuff. Yeah. And they would have like the former Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know, however you want. Like Bruce Jenner would be on there. And he'd be on there running and they'd have him running against NFL people and all kind of. And man, Darryl Green would be on there, and they'd be doing the fastest man in the NFL. And you go back and watch those tapes on YouTube. He'll dust Herschel Walker. He'll dust Rob Woodson. Like nobody could run with the dude.
Yeah, he was incredible. It's shocking that he wasn't already in the Hall of Fame of the team.
Yeah.
It's kind of how poorly Dan Snyder was running that team, though. I mean, Dan Snyder was just a joke.
So. Terrible. It was terrible joke, man. All right, well, listen, I was going to bring up the Lakers here, but I think let's see if we got somebody coming in over at the Fishbones. There we go. We got one. We got a question there, boss.
Yep. My name is the Brent Cameron.
Okay.
From born and raised Westland, Michigan.
Okay. Well, all right, Brent. Obviously down to draft, few drinks in you there. Looks like you're wearing your varsity coat, bud. You still got?
Damn right I am, Mickey. I was a Rocket, born and raised. 3-year start, both ways.
Okay. All right. You got a question or a take for us there, boss?
I'm just telling you that because I know what I'm talking about when I talk about the draft and football.
Well, that's why we're doing this, buddy. That's why we're doing it, man. What do you got?
Lions first round pick. Terry Arnold.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What are they saying about him? Can't really, he has some trouble in open field tackling. But guess what? He's got a high IQ. Guess what? He can read the play. He's explosive.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes these takes are just the truth, just stats.
Yeah.
Really.
I got to be honest, man. I thought that was going to go a lot worse than that, but I can't disagree with the guy.
No, he's right. And, if you go talk about the Lions real quick, I want to talk about their second pick in round 2, number 61.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's my guy.
But Brent knew he's talking about a little bit. But yeah, let's jump on that second pick.
Rakestraw, baby. I got high hopes for Rakestraw. Cut to 3 years from now when he's playing for Tampa or somewhere else. But I'm a Missouri guy and love Rakestraw. He's an animal. The dude he's somebody I read on the Twitters yesterday. Of course, I have a lot of Missouri content. So when Rakestraw got drafted, a lot of content came up. But the thing that carried over in all of it was a lot of people were like, this guy's just a dog.
He is.
And so I'm very excited for the Lions to get Rakestraw. I love Rakestraw.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. He fits the mentality. We go out and look. Now, listen, Lions fans, really quick. Terry and Arnold, great move, moving up to get him. Everybody's like, but we brought in these great corners over during the offseason. Why would you move up to get a corner? Guys, I know we needed an edge rusher, but they were all gone by then. If you're watching the draft, they were gone by then. The guys that were good enough to move up to try to get were gone. They were taken. And as you and I talked about on the draft show, all the corners that were supposed to be taken in the first 10, 15, none of them were taken. And then there was a quick little run on corners. So I'm fine with it. Move up, get the guy you want, add Rakestraw, because Lions fans, you remember what happened last year. We also addressed the secondary big time going into the season, right? Brought in C.J. Garner-Johnson, brought in other guys to play, corners. We loaded up secondary. What happened after 5 games? Every single one of them was hurt. So some depth here is good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Rakestraw is good in zone. He excelled at zone in Missouri. So I'm not sure. Maybe the Lions play a lot of zone. I don't actually know. But if they do, Rakestraw is going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's going to be great. He's going to fit the system well. I'll just double back quickly on what I was going to do, quick hits on the Lakers, because I was really just going to bust their balls. Congratulations, LeBron, for dominating the play-in tournament to hurry up and play the Nuggets and get swept. Why?
Well, I still can't believe they wanted to beat the Pelicans. The Denver was the one team that kind of, I'd rather have played Oklahoma City. It does kind of feel like this is kind of the end here for LeBron. He may play a couple more years, but I don't know. He's going to have to go to a different team if he wants to win a title. That's just kind of facts.
Yeah, he might be done with that. It might just be Bronny time. Like we were saying, maybe Pistons draft Bronny and just get LeBron. He wins the East.
Right. Like Philly, just some team that's already kind of good. Just eat it, draft Bronny at 25 and be done.
Yeah. Somebody in that realm. All right, guys, let's before we head into our next segment here, let's jump on one more of the sponsors here, Black Hawk Coffee, and Gordon Butterfield is back on the call, guys.
Oh, what just happened?
What just happened is brought to you by Black Hawk Coffee. Start your day off with Black Hawk Coffee and you'll be flying high and landing right on time. That's Black Hawk Coffee, a Colombian bean company.
Janet Lipnicki with a fresh cup of Black Hawk coffee, looking to take on a washed-out beef patch. A ginger one, too, and she's in the clear. Oh, sniper! Oh, what just happened? Looks like we've got action from the 6-story window of the book depository as Janet takes that second step. Oh, bang! Down she goes. Let's take one more look. And here we see she goes wrong right there. She's simply uncoordinated and bang! Her face in the sand quicker than an ostrich. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Somebody put some chalk around that coffee. Black Hawk down. Oh, what just happened?
Oh man, that poor woman.
And Gordon he is ruthless, man. He gets them too.
He's just in the moment. He calls it like he sees it, man.
It seems like he just does one take and it's over. And that's what he does.
He just lays it down. That poor woman, a hot cup of coffee in the morning at her age. That's your day. That's your day. She lost it in 2 seconds.
Seems brutal. I love Gordon. I could watch an hour of just Gordon clips.
He's great. He
great.
is great, man. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, here we're going to jump into our next segment. Familiar and not familiar. It's called Knock It Off. And here's where we're talking about things that are bothering you, bugging you, ridiculous. Man, it could be sports, not sports. Could be anything you want to talk about. So let's jump into some Knock It Off.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Oh man. I'm going to jump on the NFL draft again here, guys. ESPN specifically. What is the deal with having Bill Belichick on discussing every Patriots pick and just trashing Drake May to no end? As soon as they picked him, he was like, I want to pick this guy. He can't step on a pocket. He can't throw. Whatever he mumbled. Trash Jake. I mean, like, just stop it. Knock it off. What are they doing?
I think it's bigger than that, though. Did you watch Dynasty on Apple Plus?
I did not.
I did. And let me tell you what, that is a hit piece on Bill Belichick. Like, that is a Bob Kraft inspired piece. That is like 7 or 8 episodes of Belichick just kind of getting shit on, ultimately.
Ooh, I got to check that out.
If you watch it, you should watch it. It's interesting. They skip over some things. It's good. But basically, it's Bob Kraft is doing this thing. And it's like, we love Tom Brady. Belichick was driving me crazy. It's like the last 4 episodes of that. So I feel like Belichick is now getting his revenge, right? Like, I think he's like, hey, look, he's probably right about Drake May. Drake May might be great, but he also may struggle a little bit. And I think it's like a divorce. It's like, my ex-wife thinks Drake May. Like, fuck that guy. That's not true.
Yeah.
So I just think it's more of a Kraft Belichick versus than anything.
It probably is, and ESPN jumped right on it like Bravo with a housewife. They're like, get him on here, give him a glass of wine, and let him throw it, right?
They put him on McAfee, right? So he could just start doing that, right?
Yeah.
They put him right on McAfee. So McAfee would only encourage this, let Belichick get a little loose. I think Belichick's going to be good though on TV. I do think he's going to be good.
Yeah, he might be. All right, well, hey, I think let's check back in over Fishbones. There we go, Louie. We got some knock it offs from the bucket there.
Yeah, knock it off here from John K. in Iowa.
All right.
He said, can we knock off the chimes before every draft pick?
Listen, I don't know if I can disagree with him on that one, Louie. It gets a little annoying when everybody at the table is saying, here they're coming to the podium. Here we go. We got to pick. Why do we have to hear the ding, 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 ding? Why do we need that?
Wow, that's the part I love. That's the one part I love. I want to knock off the here he comes to the podium. Just go ding, 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 and then he's there, right? Like, just give me the music. I want that music drop. That music, that's classic to me.
You might be onto something. Yeah, let's knock off the here he comes bit. Let's maybe do that.
One more here.
Oh, you got another one.
This was the unnamed audience member here. It says, I hate how they keep remaking old sitcoms with new actors. Like they're doing a new version of the Golden Girls. That show is a treasure. Knock it off.
Who did that? Who put that in there?
I don't know.
You did that? All right, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't know. I kind of hated a lot of the other ones, but I might be interested in this Golden Girls one. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, the IP is really the thing, right? It's the comfort food that people are living with, right? So you see your Golden Girls, your A Different World. What I don't know what they're going to remake those. I'm with you. I'm like, let's just keep doing new things. Whoever wrote it, I agree with. Like, we don't have to keep going in.
Yeah, I think I saw this thing though. I think it's going to be starring Tina Fey and I don't know, Rachel Dratch and Maya Rudolph or something, and it's like Phoebe from Friends and all that. Might be
right.
Fun. Might be.
Yeah, well, I always thought that was kind of just a joke. What they wanted. If that happened, if that was for real, then sure. I will watch that show. Right?
I will watch that. Yeah, I will watch that and probably enjoy it more than I did Kevin Hart playing. Who did he play on Different Strokes? Arnold, right? I don't know. I wasn't much into that.
Kevin Hart. Wait, Kevin Hart wasn't Arnold. You mean Gary Coleman?
Yeah, when they redid the episode, they did the NBC thing where they redo an episode and they recast it.
Yeah. I thought you were confusing Kevin Hart with Gary Coleman for a long time.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Hart was Gary Coleman as a kid. Right. He was a kid actor.
Right. I also think that these places are the places that make these shows are afraid to do new things, and they are just kind of sticking with what works and what's easy, and it's what's easy to sell, and that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, they are, and that's what they'll just keep on doing here. So, oh boy, here we go. I can recognize the shadow walking in here.
I don't know about this guy.
Andy.
Hey, bud.
Brent Cameron.
Okay, Brent, we're familiar. We saw you a minute ago. We're not holding for applause, sir. Listen. We're gonna let you go.
1998, John Wayne Rock.
Okay, we covered that last.
275 yards, 4 TDs, trace picks.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Plaque from that year.
Jeez, oh, Pete, man, really?
My credentials, my resume.
Okay. You had a good take last time. We're just interested to see if you have a good one this time. Do you have something?
I don't think you understand who I am.
Oh boy.
And what I represent to the game of football. Jingle, 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 jingle.
Okay.
My medals here.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have you got a take here? Is a hot take coming or?
Yeah, here's my take. Senior year, how much did I bench press?
I'm gonna let you take it.
How tall is he?
About 5'9". No, he's probably about 6 foot.
Okay. I mean, I'll give him 215. Is that a lot?
215.
Try 285.
285. 285. I would like to have seen that. 285 is quite a bit of weight.
We might need a video on that, Brent. But what is this guy's deal, man? Okay.
Right. Why does he not know how to say your first name? That's the part.
Know.
It's common. It's like Andy. It's very common.
It's very easy. They were handing out free drinks outside. I think this guy's feeling some older days, regurgitating on himself here. But his first take was good. I was going to let him go again. His first take was, he said something.
285 though. He thinks he benched in high school 285. That's a lot. That's a
steep bench press. We'll see if maybe we can get some tape on that guy. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't see if we get some tape on that guy. All right, guys. Hey, let's hear from Rust Belt Club one more time and Gordon Butterfield. Right? Here we go.
Oh, what just happened? What just happened is brought to you by the RustBeltClub.com. Oh, what just happened? Welcome back to Wee Prairie for the final heat in the Indoor French Championships. And the man lining up behind the pole is none other than the favorite, Pasquale Larocque. They call him the Magic Man because once the pistol blows, poof, he's gone in a puff of smoke. A clean start. And there he goes, taking off on the heat. He'll start to pull away, and it looks like Larocque has done it again. Ha-ha! Alakazam! And just like Quibi, he disappeared immediately without any warning. Everybody's baffled. Well, let's try and take a closer look without revealing any industry secrets. We see as he crosses the finish line, everybody looks up to the clock for their times, and he disappears right through a trapdoor. Oh, David Copperfield. He leaves everybody scratching their heads. Even the finish line judge is trying to find out where he disappeared to. But like any sorcerer worth his salt, he'll never tell. Put him on the milk carton. He vanished into thin air. Oh, what just happened?
I don't even know where he's finding this stuff.
Me neither. And again, it does all seem like it's just one take. Like I think he just shoots it one time and then he's done.
Just put him in the booth and let him do it, man.
Yeah, just like go for it. Say what you want to say and then be done.
And a class act, like he's protecting the industry secrets. He's not going to tell. Oh man,
no, he's
Gordon. He's a national treasure. He is a national treasure. All right, Andy. Well, let's take this thing down the stretch here. I got to give a shout out to my man Jermaine Burton, Calabasas Safe House. Remember, we're talking these guys getting drafted today. I did not end up seeing where Johnny Wilson went. I lost track setting up for the show here in the 5th, 6th round. But I know Jermaine got drafted in the 3rd round yesterday by the Cincinnati Bengals. What a great spot for him, huh?
Looks like Johnny Wilson went to the Eagles at 185.
Oh, but that's a good spot for him too.
Yeah.
Man, but Burton going to the Bengals, I mean, in the third round like that, is that them saying like, maybe we let T. Higgins go, we're not going to pay him, and this guy slides in?
Yeah, or in a year, right?
Yeah, in a year. They're going to franchise him this year.
Yeah, and then they just let him do whatever he's going to do. I think so, and we'll see what happens with Burton, and hopefully he'll work out. And if not, they'll draft another one.
Yeah. I think it'll be a perfect compliment to Chase because he's one of these guys that's a route runner, possession receiver, and that's what they need, man. So, hey, congratulations, Jermaine, man. That's awesome. We're all pulling for you, brother. Let's jump onto this next one here. Let's take a grab from the bucket. Louie, you over there? Fish bones there? What we got there? Let's do it.
Dan from our neighbors to the north from Windsor, Ontario.
Okay.
Thank you, Barbara's 19. All right.
10 minutes away.
Red Wing issues, goalie or defense?
Oh, man.
And NHL Finals. What do you guys think the two teams are going to get?
All right. Okay. All right. I'll jump in on this one first here real quick with the defense or goalie. I'm going to say defense. Yeah. There was moments down the stretch where the goaltending was keeping us in some games, and then we dumped 7 or 8 straight there. Terrible stretch down the end where we don't get into the playoffs, but I think it was a lot more defense than goaltending to me, but neither one of them blowing me away. But goalie's a lot harder to replace than defense, though, from a hockey standpoint. If I'm Stevie Y, I'm going, look, goalies aren't everywhere, man. That's like quarterbacks, right? It's like you don't just go out and get another one. This isn't the 90s or 2000s anymore. We just go get Hasek if we want. That's probably not going to happen. So you got to rotate in some new defense and freshen up in front of them and see what you got. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'd rather work on the defense and then kind of like always hunt for the goalie. Just hunt around and maybe get a little lucky.
Yeah. Stanley Cup right now, I like the way Boston's playing in the East. I think they're up 3-1 on Toronto if they beat them tonight. Right. I think it's game 5. So I like the way Boston is playing in the East. The West, I don't know, man. That's up for grabs for me. I don't know. Who do you like?
I like Boston. I like Boston in one way. I'm not going to choose them, but I like them in the Virginia Purdue category. We're a great team. The 1 seeds that lost in the first round of the previous year, just like last year, the Bruins were like whatever they were 70-8. I don't know what their record was, but they were really good. They got out in Game 7 of round 1, so I like that team the next year. But I'm going to go Rangers. I think the Rangers. I kind of like what they're doing. Look, I probably would have leaned to some team like the Stars, but now that they're already down 2-0 to Vegas, so I'm going to move over to the Oilers.
Yeah, Oilers, good pick. They're getting hot toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Rangers, like 3 weeks ago, looked like Rangers were, maybe more like a month ago, looked like Rangers were like unbeatable. Like this is the team that's going to run away with it. And then they kind of came back down to earth, and that was at the time when Boston wasn't looking very good. So everybody probably like to see those two match up to see how they get out of the East there. But I'm with you in the West, probably. I
like the Mark Messier Stanley Cup. That's what I'm going with. The Rangers Oilers.
Yeah, Rangers Oilers. That would be pretty cool to see. That would be pretty cool. Hey, but thanks for the question. A little hockey talk. We don't get a lot of that too often. You know what I mean? Let me ask you one more question here, Andy. Coming down the stretch. Let's talk a little. Let's get back to the NFL draft a little bit. Did the Bears win the draft?
Well, they won maybe the first round. Ultimately. They only had like 5 picks. One of the picks was a punter. So it's hard for me to say they won the draft. Like Adunze and Caleb I think are going to be awesome. I think they're going to be just a load, and they could be a load as early as next year. But they're going to, if everything's got to kind of go their way. We'll see what Caleb does, right? Ultimately.
He's walking into a situation, as we said before, better than any quarterback I can remember in my lifetime. He's walking into a setup situation with a million weapons. My only question for the Bears is, because I hate them, is how's the rookie quarterback manage the veteran wide receiver they brought in from the Chargers, right? The big time guy that took over number one spot last year for them, Moore, coming in off the trade. He's the man. He's the guy in the locker room.
Right.
And the rookie phenom. And your tight end, Cole Kmet. Oh, and DeAndre Swift's got to get some touches too. It's a lot of divas needing a football, and you got a 21-year-old kid's going to keep them online.
Right. I mean, Caleb, I do think he's going to be great. It seems like he is, and like he's got to be an upgrade of whatever the Bears have had the last 5 years with Fields and years before that. But that division's tough. It's not like that's an easy division either. So Detroit's very good. Green Bay's pretty good. So it's not going to be easy sledding for the Bears.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what is going to be easily remembered when they start struggling is, we set it all up this year to go with Caleb and to go with the Dunze and make all these picks and stuff when we could have just took C.J. Stroud last year.
Could have. I think C.J. Stroud's part of the problem of all the quarterbacks this year, right? Everybody saw the turnaround.
Yep.
Right. And now we have this 6 quarterbacks and 12 picks.
Yeah, well, I hope karma comes around for the Bears, and I hope Caleb Williams is as good as Young. So Bryce Young, who they made the trade to not draft last year.
Right.
And I hope that they're terrible because I hate the Bears, and we all know that.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: the Bears' schedule is kind of soft. It's that whole the NFC North. They play the AFC South, so
yeah, real soft there. And then let's jump on that for a quick second. The NFC South. What the Falcons draft Penix at 8, blown away.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, right? It's crazy, isn't it? It's not, if their rationale is we're never going to be back up here to draft a quarterback again, so we'll get the guy in the now and hold him for 2 years. But 1, Penix is old. 2, Penix is hurt, and they paid Cousins like $180 million. So that's why not just take Dallas Turner?
It's so contradictory to what you did. You brought in an aging quarterback on a big money deal because you thought you have a team good enough to make a run to at least win that division or keep moving in the playoffs next year. And then you use your number 1 pick not to help you on the defensive side of the ball, but to plan for the future. Like what? Makes no sense.
It's a wild move, and also as soon as Cousins is bad, everybody's going to want Penix. And if Penix is bad, what happens? People are going to panic.
People are going to panic hard, man. I was looking at some draft grades for the first round. Lions got an A+ for moving up to get Terry on and all this. Yeah. And they straight up had Falcons for an F for taking Penix at 8.
Yeah. Take Turner. Take Dallas Turner.
Take the defensive player. Take the defensive player. But listen, I am on the record that I do think Penix may be the best quarterback in this class. We'll see if it works out for him now where he got drafted. Maybe not. But
we're not going to see him for 2 years, probably.
Not going to see him for 2 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him for 2 years. That's without a doubt, man. That's a fact. Well, here's the thing for me. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Packers look tough. Okay. The Bears look tough. The Lions are the Lions, and we know that. Poor J.J. McCarthy. I mean, undefeated Michigan national champs, hometown hero here. He gets drafted to go play for the Vikings. No chance. No chance.
Well, he's walking into a great situation, though. Hey, he's got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Addison, he is.
Hawkinson. They got somebody will run the ball. I have no idea who. So he's walking in probably a better situation than Caleb, I would say. But those are the top 2 situations. And they also got Dallas Turner, right? The Vikings did. Who, by the way, I think you should bet on to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think you should bet on Dallas Turner like plus 850. I mean,
okay.
Why not? Right? They're going to play him. They need him. They have to play him. That's my general thought.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to do something like that. But poor JJ, he's going to be in trouble, man.
It's going to be tough. So one of those teams is going to be bad, right? One of those teams is going to win 6 or 7 games.
Yeah. Probably the Vikings for my money. I'd say.
Probably.
Well, let's see if we can get over to Louie and see what he's got going on over there at the Fishbones there. If he can get us a pick out of the bar. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
Okay. Brent, hey, Brent, can I tell you this? It's Mikey. I'm not Mickey. Not like Mantle. It's Mikey, but you got something for us this time, boss.
Of course I do. The Brent Cameron here.
Okay, man.
Holding for applause.
We're not. You got to take this time.
Yeah. I gotta
They
take
cheering
it.
for him, Andy. Fucking cheer.
I want you to show you guys my skills as an athlete.
Oh,
I've been
boy.
questioning it the entire time.
Sure.
I feel it. My tape.
Okay.
Play.
Brent, we do not have your tape.
I sent it to the producer, gave it to the engineer. The tape's in. My game.
Listen,
I rushed for 300.
we don't have your tape. Brent, we do not have your tape. I'm looking through all the stuff that they put in here, right?
It's there.
375 is a lot. That's a lot of yards.
Andy, I'm gonna have to apologize to Brent right now. They did give me a copy of his tape in here.
Okay.
It is in here.
Go rock.
It is in here. All right, Brent. We're gonna play your tape for you, Brent.
Yeah.
We're gonna play your tape. Here we go.
Right? It was a horse collar.
Brent, we're gonna run that back because you were giving some good commentary, man, but your mic was not on. I'll let you do that one more time, buddy. I'll let you do. What do you got? A trophy?
Yeah, trophy. Okay.
Okay, why don't you?
Shows you what kind of athlete I am. I got this trophy from that game alone. One game.
Okay.
That's like a 16-yard run.
You're right. That was one play. Of
Right.
the 375.
Okay.
Here, run it back. Just up, down, Mike, run it back.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next clip. Let's just. They've given me two, Brent. I'm gonna play your clip for you. Okay.
Let's see it.
This is your pointer trophy, Mr. 285. Here we go.
Watch the perfect set, center, quarterback exchange, quarterback fumbles it. Boom, here I am. Watch me. Number 11 right there.
What?
Down the field like a whoop, whoop, whoop.
What?
Boom.
285.
Knocked him out. That guy was knocked out cold. He falls, number 53 falls right back down right after this. Yes.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
That was a broken play screen.
Could you hear his commentary the whole time?
Some of it. I can hear some.
Oh my God. Now listen, first of all, Brett, the first clip you were number 6 and 2 plays later you were number 11.
I explain to you how football works if you don't know, okay?
Right.
Change jerseys sometimes. Yes.
Okay, that's probably against the rules. Right, Brett, thank you. We played your tape, man. Where the fuck is Louie? Jesus Christ. Fish bones.
But he also said 285 on the ground, and then in that pass, he was saying 285 again, in which I was like, that's not running yards. That's receiving.
No, I think he was making the comment every time he ran somebody over, he benches 285.
Oh, okay.
He was dropping 285 bombs on him the whole time,
Gotcha.
I think.
Gotcha. That's the part I also don't believe. That's the one I don't believe more than anything.
That is, oh my God. Well, they're all downtown getting hammered today, Andy. And you know what? God bless him. I got to give it to him. His first take, the only time he was serious for 5 seconds, he was kind of right. The non-Ontarian is that he's not the greatest tackler, but he's a cover guy. And, we needed a cover guy. So on that note, let me just break down the final 2 picks that I saw the Lions take before we got going, ready to go live here. And our number 3 pick in the 4th round. So we've traded back up into the 4th round to draft a guy. And I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but when we drafted this guy, everybody at the desk had no idea who he was, had no notes on him. This is in the 4th round. No notes on him, no picture. They had no video. Nobody knew who he was. We drafted an offensive tackle out of deep in British Columbia named Giovanni Manu.
Yeah, no idea.
He's not on anyone's draft board. Nobody's ever heard of him. I'm sure Dan Campbell went up there and went ice fishing with the kid for the weekend and found out he loved him. Apparently he's like 6'9" and huge and runs the 40 and 5 flat. And they moved up to get him. So whatever, fine.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a Jokic thing, right? There's this. Who's this guy? This Serbian kid, right? And then he's really good. So hopefully this guy's really good. I don't know anything about it.
They just had like the gray picture of like a shaded head, like on LinkedIn when you don't put your picture and shit. And everybody was like, we don't know who this guy is.
Right.
In the 4th round. This is not 6th or 7th.
Right. This is Giovanni Manu from the University of British Columbia.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, our 4th pick, we also moved back up into the bottom of the 4th round, and we drafted a safety out of Utah. And this kid, Sionavaki, everybody's trashing this pick all over online and they're tearing it apart. And I'm going to tell you this, from our college football talks all year, my favorite defense of the year, Utah. Yep. I mean, I watched them play a lot of games. That Utah defense is tough as hell. I watched this kid play. This kid is a tough player, downhill player. They had him rated as like the 25th best safety in the whole draft. We took him in the 4th round. But here's why I don't have a problem with it, because he also played running back for Utah when they needed him to. Had a game at Cal where he rushed for 158 yards and played safety, right? So to me, this thing just screams like, hey, we're building this whole team. We don't have a ton of needs, and this is a special teams guy for real. Depth at safety, special teams guy, can fill in at running back if we get an injury, right?
Yeah, it's like he's just a football player, right? Like he's gonna find his spot.
Yeah,
he's gonna find his spot.
Yeah, and I'm telling you the reason that they took him too. One of his biggest pluses on his draft card was he comes down like thunder and drills people in the run game. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to be like the first, second down safety. You know what I mean? Like, come down, smoke somebody. When we need coverage, you hit the bench. You know?
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to love that guy. He's a really good athlete. I think he's going to be very popular.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's going to be the new hotness this year. If we were on hot takes, if we were on Hard Knocks, he'd be the guy. He would definitely be the guy, right?
Yeah, people are going to love him. I think he's going to be good too. With you. I like what the Lions did overall. They have a lot of. They also, outside of Giovanni, they basically took all big power school kids, and I tend to like that as a draft.
Yeah,
generally.
Yep. I do. I like this kid a lot. I think he fits the team. You need guys in these positions. You have to have them. I like it a lot. And take a chance on the tackle if he develops. Our line is set as it is anyway. We're going to slide Penny Sewell over to the left this year. Yep. Maybe this kid develops to play right next year. Right. We'll be all set. I'm in for it. I like it. I'm ready for the season. I might buy season tickets.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
I might buy season tickets. I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it, man. So to my wife, Chloe at home, who's hearing this for the first time, can we maybe buy season tickets, babe?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We're just showing off for the podcast. Yeah. What do you think, though?
It was just for the podcast. I was trying to be cool, honey, but can we buy the season tickets, babe? So we'll see about it. We'll see about it, man. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we got one more plug from Gordon Butterfield, giving it up here. Let's check him out. We got to go with one more Gordon. He's good.
Oh, what just happened? What just happened is brought to you by the RustBeltClub.com. Oh, what just happened? Young Cody Pembroke feeling rizzy and drippy in that Toyota Prius. Ho, Snake Eyes! Caught him slipping and he lost it all. Oh my, let's see where Window Jack got the jump on Froggy Fresh. It looks like Cody's got some time to kill while he waits on those waves to come in. So he's counting up a boatload of cash. Looks like about $31 bills. Oh, that won't last you 20 minutes in the club, young man. I can see you've got a XXX watch, but you sure don't know what time it is. But at least he's being safe. That seatbelt kept him right in place. Oh, what just happened?
Oh, I gotta imagine Gordon had the most fun with that one. He didn't like that kid off the rip, I'm telling you.
He just lets it rip. That's what I like about him. Again, I don't think he liked that kid.
He's an older fellow from another generation. He's probably got shrapnel in his ass from Korea. Yeah. He didn't like that kid one bit.
No, he sure did. You're absolutely right.
And probably a nice kid too, man. Sure. For that $30.
Sure. Yeah. Just made a little mistake, and you make a mistake, Gordon's gonna let you have it.
Yeah, he is. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's see. Maybe do we have one more in the bucket there, Louie? Or no? Bucket is okay. Nobody wants to do the bucket. Okay. What? Oh, Jesus Christ! Here we go.
This guy.
Hey. The right.
Yeah, we're familiar, Brent. We're familiar.
Holding.
Is that the call you got mostly? Or?
Holding for the applause.
Oh.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I feel like you guys are judging me and only as a one-dimensional person. Athlete only. I crushed it as an athlete, all right?
That's fair.
Guess what? In high school, I also crushed that.
Okay.
I thought it might be going there.
What kid did you steal that from? All right, Brent, All right.
He just came up to tell us how much ass he crushed. That was all
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah. He came up to tell us how much ash he.
I mean, I would have kind of figured if from the highlights I saw. I thought.
Yeah. In high school, I guarantee he did. The hat is because he no longer has any more hair. And I will bet you dollars to donuts, Andy, that guy's Instagram handle is I crushed ass in high school.
Probably was. It probably is. You can probably look him up.
I will bet you on that, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Andy, thanks for jumping in here, man. DWMOD Live. You guys, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. A lot of fun. A lot of fun being back in Detroit, man.
Go Lions. Go Lions.
Yeah. Go Lions. A lot of fun being back in Detroit. Big thanks. RustBeltClub.com, guys. Get over there. Hit that 25% off. Get you some fresh, nice, soft clothing. Okay, NFL draft. And Andy, we'll see you next time, brother.
See you next time, man.
All right, bet. It's time for another episode of All Right Bet.